So we all know there's a few absolutes inside of the world. We know that water is wet. We know that at the end of life is death, unfortunately. But we also know that we will always be inside our body. Our mind will always be our mind. Our spirit will always be our spirit. And our actions will always be our actions. That means if we want to become more of something, if we want to improve, we have to change who we are. And we're the only person who can do that. So I can't really say that throughout my life because I'm only 17 years old, but for a big portion of my life, I was pretty sad, unproductive, wasted time. I was a fat boy. I'm not gonna lie to you, which I believe most early teenagers, so like 12, 13, 14, can relate to that. But then I had this revelation just out of nowhere in like 2023 where I had this desire to become more, which is strange because throughout my years, I like some man, I really don't care about going to the gym. I don't care about eating clean. I just want to be in my bed, playing my video games, watching YouTube, occasionally, um, touching myself. But anyways, this revelation was the first step inside of me changing who I was. And everybody who wants to change has to have this revelation. You already have had a revelation because you're already on this video, meaning that you have a desire to improve. So that's good. You already have the first step. So as I said before, starting in 2023, it was October. So for the rest of 2023 and all 2024, I binge watch self-improvement content and other informational content. So you already want to improve, but like you don't really know what to do. So you gotta go on YouTube and find videos like this telling you the things that they done to improve their life so that you can become more like this more successful person, and they already have the blueprint out for you. Now it's 2026. Most people already watch, educational, informational content because it's everywhere. It's on Instagram, it's on YouTube, it's on Facebook, it's everywhere. But those people, most of those people only use that content as entertainment. Or, if you like to say, mental masturbation, because they're seeing all the success and they're just believing that, oh, yeah, I'm going to be like that one day. Yeah, you most likely will be like that one day, but not right now because those people aren't doing anything to go towards that direction of where they want to be. To follow that blueprint, we have to apply the things that we remember. When I first started, I tried doing every single thing that these videos, these books, these podcasts would say to do because it seemed productive. Like if I just do more and more and more and more, then I'll get more and more and more outputs, right? So I went ahead and did cold showers every day, affirmations every day, read a ton of ebooks and a ton of articles, try to start a new business. I mute, I meditate, I got closer to God, exercise every day for like 1 or 2 hours, ate whole foods, talked to new people randomly, separated from my old friends and because they weren't willing to change, and a whole ton of other stuff. See, these things are good, and these things you have to do. Like, especially that separate from your friends if they're not willing to change because they're holding you back. We'll talk about that a little bit later though. I want to recommend that you do every single thing, every single video talks about, and just do it throughout your whole day. Because you're gonna get like burned out. I only did this, I know it sounds crazy, but I only did every single thing for a year. I know a year sounds like a long time, but I was like just a very determined person. Once I start slowing down, it just started becoming like a snowball effect. Like, and when I stopped doing like my meditation, then I stopped doing the cold showers, I stopped doing the affirmation, I stopped the business because I got a little bit too afraid because I started meditating. It's just it started collapsing. So we got to do this one step at a time. So watch a couple of videos and whatever key points that you remember after watching the video, go ahead and research about that topic. If it's an action, research about like After this video, you heard about exercise. You want to look up, okay, so what exercises should I do right now? Because I don't really have equipment. So you look up home exercises to do like for 45 minutes or so. You do that for like a week or more if you need to. And then you go back to these educational videos and you get more information that you might want to apply. So we're not adding every single thing. We're adding the key points that we remember, because if we remember it, it must be a reason that we remembered it. I believe I was pretty lucky when I started my self-improvement journey, because a month in, we had to move out. And this new environment actually encouraged me, because the old place, I did so much bad things up in there. This was like my virtual reality era. And you know, VR means VR chat and VR chat people. Those are some interesting people, and they made me a very interesting person too. So I'm glad that we moved up, because this is the fourth thing you have to know. The people who you hang out with, where you live or where you often go, and what you listen to is greater than your desires to become greater, or greater than your desires to do anything. So if these three things, the who you hang out with, where you live or often go, and what you listen to goes against this desire, then it's going to feel like you're swimming upstream. And most people don't achieve their goals if these things are out of whack. Even if one thing is out of whack, it's still going to slow down the process. However, if these three things are aligned, so imagine you have a friend who also is on their journey, like saying, you know what? Come on, dude, we got this. And you're living in a new place, or you move around some of your furniture so it looks brand new. You remove junk underneath your bed, remove the poster of like a hot chick, a hot video game chick, because that's how you used to be, right? And you like added like a plant, added like a humidifier, added like a new picture of like a line saying that you can do or something like that. And what you listen to is always saying that, okay, we can do this. We get stronger. We're making money. We're feeling better. If these three things are aligned to your desire, then it's like a positive feedback loop, because your actions and your environment is cheering you on to keep going and achieve this desire that you have. So basically, you need to make a productive space for yourself and not a destructive space. Now, all this stuff is cool and all, but how do we actually put it in play into our days? What I recommend is to make a routine and a tracker for these beneficial actions that you have chosen for yourself. So when I first started, I used to be so consistent on my habit tracker. I would always check off the box: exercise, meditate, cold shower, read, pray. I already said exercise, but you already get what I mean. Like, I had a ton of habits, and I just checked it off basically every single day. But I got so tired of the process of making a new sheet every month, because it wasn't tedious. It was tedious. It was tedious. And I just got tired of doing it. So instead, what I recommend is that you make the routine first. And then, since you can like color coordinate the tasks inside your routine, you start everything off as gray. And then once you're complete with it, you make it green. And if you don't complete it, that's totally fine. Just leave it gray, because then you can look back at it and like, so, okay, so I need to improve this one action because I'm not doing it a lot. But how do we make this routine? So the first step is to list out the things that you already do, the actions that you're learning right now, and then like a sleep time. If you don't have like a set sleep time, that's recommended that you do, so that your body's just used to waking up at a certain time, going to sleep at a certain time. Because if you have enough hours of sleep, your brain, your body, the spirit, your soul, everything just be better. So if you don't have a set sleep time right now, get closer and closer to making it like 8 hours of sleep, which is like 9 hours of bed. However, once you got all these things listed out, then we want to set up the routine in a non-conflicting way. A non-conflicting way, or a conflicting way, will be like eating food right after brushing your teeth. Like that just wouldn't make sense. Or exercising right before going to bed. That wouldn't make sense either. Because first of all, you'll be smelling. Second of all, you won't be able to go to sleep because you're just energized and pumped up. So we got to make it where our schedule builds onto each other. There is one exception. You must find out what's the hardest task, the task that you don't really want to do, and do it first thing in the morning. If not first thing in the morning, because you like want to brush your teeth, want to wash your face, and do stuff like that, that's all right. But it has to be before your average day starts. So for me, an average day for me would be going to school. So the thing I list out, the hardest things to do is scripting because I don't really like sitting down and just writing all these words because I've been doing it for such a long time inside of school and I'm about to go to school. So it's just like, it's so tedious, but I need to do it so that I can have my thoughts out on the list so I can talk about it. Because the talking part I like to do. It's just the writing part. So find out what's the hardest thing or the thing that you don't really want to do. And then put it the first thing in the morning, right after you wake up, or right before your day starts. And if you follow these tips, but you don't have to follow every single one of them, because as we said before, just take the tips that you remember after this video, learn about them, and then apply them. Everybody have a nice day. If you want to subscribe to this new channel, go ahead and do that. And bye. I'm Alker.